All right. We're back. I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting. The world I'm talking to. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. I know you've been waiting on our AEW Dynamite review. It's the most important thing in the world going on. And, sorry, the most important thing other than Elora.
There you go.
Man. Elora just walked up to me, so I had to let her come on the air. Hey, Elora, say hello. Say hello to the world.
Elora.
Oh, my
Elora,
God.
what do you have to say about AEW? What do you think about all this shenanigans that's going on in
Speak
AEW?
into the microphone. She don't want to talk about AEW. He's like,
I don't blame her.
that.
Can I join her?
Yeah, well, feel free to take the segment off, Vlad. I'll do it with Robert, I guess. This is Vlad, by the way, the wrestling expert.
I'm just joking. I'm gonna see this through. I'm gonna grit my teeth and see this through.
Yeah, not the biggest AEW fan, I guess, but you still watch it just to see the car wreck.
To see, yeah, it's like watching a car wreck. To see the damage they've done to wrestling.
I'm a little more positive about it, only because I don't expect anything anymore, so I'll just watch it just in hopes I'll see something good. It is tough to watch bad wrestling, though, because even when you forward it, man, you have to pull your full focus into forwarding. I kind of wanted to do a podcast.
It's true. It's very true, Robert. It's very true. What he's saying here is actually very accurate.
You have to, I kind of wanted to do a podcast showing people how I watch wrestling most of the time. Like, I don't let it run. I just don't, if I'm not really paying attention to it and I'm doing other things, okay, I'll let it run. But if I'm actually paying attention to it, I'm going to forward through stuff I don't want to watch. And you literally have to stare at the screen, forward, like focusing on oh, something happened, and then you stop. You know what I mean? So you're literally putting your full attention on it while you're forwarding. So it's not easy to do that, even if it's going to take you 20 minutes to forward. It's 20 full minutes of hyper focus. So even when it's bad, it's not like, oh, I forward through it. It's like, that was easy. That wasn't easy. It was still hard. So that's my diatribe about how I watch wrestling. But maybe I'm going to do a podcast, kind of showing live my first viewing of a show, and so people could see how I do it, and then they could learn how to do it, and then stop complaining when the show sucks, because you could just forward through it. But Robert, the Frozen Asian, who is also here with me, he watches the full show every time, no matter what the show is. He'll sit through the whole 3-4 hours.
Well, all right, you're right. However, I will add, if there's a segment or a match that I'm not really interested in, I kind of just tune out. I let it play, but I kind of just tune out and do something else. But I don't forward it. So I don't use the same strategy as Khan. But similar logic, I guess.
But some shows you don't even really watch, like Raw. I notice you don't really watch them. You just go to YouTube or something and watch the highlights, right?
Lately, ever since The Rock got involved with the Bloodline angle, I haven't actually missed an episode yet of both Raw and SmackDown.
You freaking watch all of Raw, all of it?
Like I said, so the parts that I'm not really interested in, I just kind of tune out.
So you you stare blankly at the screen. You're still watching, but you're tuning out, or you do something else.
I'm looking on my phone, or I don't know, doing some other stuff. But I let it play. I don't forward it. So if something interesting comes up, then I pay attention again.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're here today. This topic today for this episode. It's episode number 97, by the way. We're on our march to 100 episodes and 1 million subscribers. Yeah, who never thought we'd have come this far? We're almost going to hit a year anniversary, actually, on April. Wow. April was our first show, so almost a happy birthday to the Malapert Smark podcast. Thank you to our 170-something subscribers. We love all of you. God bless you, and we're going to put a good word in with God, so hopefully you get into heaven when we get there. So, but try to be good still. I don't know how many strings I can pull. Try not to be so bad. But
Khan can only do so much.
I can only do so much. But today we got to talk big business, all right? Big business. You guys know what that means? That in wrestling terms, it means when you're doing really well and you're getting hot crowds and you're making a lot of money. Big business,
what it
right?
actually means. Gotcha.
Yes. So AEW have been teasing that something's gonna happen. They even named a freaking episode "Big Business," so we were expecting something big, right? Well, I don't know. That can be debated, but we'll show some highlights right off the bat. Actually, it was kind of expected, right, guys? There was a big rumor mill going around the industry, kind of like when CM Punk was going to debut in AEW on Rampage. Everybody freaking knew. The crowd was there with signs for Mercedes Mone, and there she was to open the show. First things first, right? So she went out there, cut a real babyface promo in the ring about how she loves the fans and how she loves AEW, I guess, and I don't really know what else. Nobody.
Wrestling saved your life.
Okay, yeah, it was nice. It was a nice promo. It wasn't bad. Nothing really earth-shattering or kind of like Punk when he first showed up. We're like, okay, well, let's see what happens.
Got the same vibe.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted someone to come out and say, like, who the hell are you to come, on their first day and say you own this place or you're the CEO or whatever. Like, nobody came out. Like the way nobody came out to Punk. But these were big superstars, so they gave them their 20 minutes to talk. All right, guys, well, what do you think? Who wants to give a comment about AEW's newest signing? Robert, you want to go first?
Sure.
All right,
yes,
go ahead.
So, let me go back the past few weeks first. When AEW signed Will Ospreay, right, to AEW, I thought that was cool. I was a big fan. When they signed Okada, I thought that was cool too. That was a pretty good signing because I'm a fan of his too. Mercedes Mone, though, not only am I a big fan, I feel like this is more impactful than the signings of Will Ospreay and Okada, only because I feel like the women's division in AEW is really lacking. So they needed to sign some really good talent. The male roster in AEW to me is already really good. It's just there's some questionable booking, but as far talent wise on the men's side, I thought it was already pretty good. But the women, that needed an improvement. And so that being said, the signing of Mercedes Mone to me was a big win. Now, whether or not they capitalize on that, we'll see. That remains to be seen. But I think this is a really good signing because, as you know, she was formerly known as Sasha Banks. Her and the rest of the four horsewomen, when they debuted on the main roster in WWE, I think way back in, what year is it, 2015, 16? I forgot already. But when they showed up, to me, they really raised the bar for women's wrestling, and she was positioned initially as like the best of the bunch, or at least that's how I perceived it, that she was the best out of the four horsewomen, and that speaks volumes to her talent. That the group that pretty much raised the standard for women's wrestling, she was pretty much at the head of it. I have nothing but good things to say about Sasha Banks, Mercedes Mone, whatever you want to call her. One of the things I want to mention about her time as Sasha Banks, I think as far as singles matches for Ronda Rousey, not many of them, in my opinion, I could label as great. Some of them, most of them are just okay or good, but not great. The one match, in my opinion, is really good enough for me to actually label as a great, fantastic match was the one that she had with Sasha Banks in I think it was Royal Rumble. I forgot what year, but they did have a singles match, and I thought that was really, really good. And that was the only singles match of Ronda Rousey's career in WWE that I could say that about. Not saying that I've watched all of them, but from my recollection of her singles matches, that really stood out. I say that more as a compliment to Sasha Banks than as an insult to Ronda Rousey. I don't think Ronda Rousey is bad at all. So I think this is a win for AEW, but let's see if they could capitalize it.
All right, Vlad, you have the floor. Do you agree?
I mean, I mostly agree with Robert. I think it's definitely a win. She's a legit star. She's a name. She can wrestle. She proved it numerous times when she was in WWE that she's a really good worker, fantastic personality, and you want to get behind her, in the sense of just like she's just really good. But my issues stem not with her. She's gonna be fine. It's just like, who is she gonna like? There's nothing for her to work with. Like there's literally zero. They got nothing going on in the women's division. Like it's the pits. It's the pits. There's nothing there. If she wanted to work with talent, it might have been better for her to go to like TNA or somewhere in Japan, go back to Japan. I don't know. I don't see anything here for her to work with. This is like literally the worst women's division maybe in the history of wrestling. So.
Well, when Punk showed up, he worked with all the boys. Daniel Garcia. What's that guy's Evan Bourne? Whoever's there, you gotta work with whoever's there. Try to teach them up.
Yeah,
but
I'm not.
I get what you're saying, Vlad. I get what you're saying. It's been a badly booked division. I mean, I think there's some talent there. I kind of disagree with you about that. I just think it's been poorly booked. Like, where is Britt Baker? Jamie Hayter's not around. Saraya, I guess, is a star that they haven't been using. And I don't think Chris Statlander is bad, and I don't think Willow Nightingale is bad, which, you know what?
I agree.
Since we're on the topic of Mercedes Mone, let's just talk about everything that happened with her on the show, which was the end of the show, the main event, when they went back to the women's division, and the main event was going to be Riho versus Willow. And Sasha Banks.
My God, how could
the main event of Big Business was Riho versus Willow, and then well, Mercedes Mone did mention that she had some unfinished business from that match they had in Stardom. I think about
right, that's right.
With
she got injured during that match, right? Is that what happened?
And she put Willow over and everything. So there's some story there so far for the hardcore wrestling fans who've been following that. But she did have her first meeting with Riho in the back, gave her some support before she headed out there for her match with Willow Nightingale, which I guess was an important match for the standings, or, who was going to go for this TBS title. And to my surprise, Riho lost to Willow. Clean. I couldn't believe it. She couldn't roll her up. It was too big. She was too big for her, although she did beat Nyla Rose. But in this one, she just got... Well, I don't know what her powerbomb move is called, but it's like a sit-down powerbomb. Nailed her with it and won the match. And, there was some good sportsmanship afterwards and everything. But the House of Black turned out the lights, and Julia and Sky Blue showed up to attack Willow. And then the end of the show had Mercedes Mone coming out and clearing house. You see, this is her first interaction with Sky Blue. Socked her in the face, and she's gonna get in a little move on Julia Hart too, which didn't look too bad. These are the women that Vlad are saying who is she gonna work with? Well, here they are, Vlad. I guess there's Statlander, there's Toni Storm, there's Deonna Purrazzo. Who knows if Britt Baker's ever gonna come back? I don't know what the hell's going on there. Maybe they just can't find an angle that she's willing to do or something. I don't really. Well,
I'm just gonna say this. I don't know how it's gonna end with her in AEW, but same way that we thought with Punk that it would work out. I think at some point she just might get tired of this nonsense, because let's not forget she main evented WrestleMania with Bianca Belair, monumental WrestleMania, 2 black women, right? And now she's
great match
working with Willow and Julia Hart. No offense to them, but I mean, it's like apples and oranges, right? I mean, what we're talking about here. So I don't know how I feel about all this. She is a legit name in the wrestling business. She's been proven that she's very good. I just don't have any hopes that they're going to use her correctly, or that you can use her correctly when nobody cares about anybody else that she's really working with. I like Willow too. I think there is something there, or even Statlander. Even Julia Hart could be as a character is okay, but they haven't really done anything with them that's at all interesting. Any of these people, any of them. So,
all right. Well, I'll just say to close out our Mercedes Mone segment that for what Robert said about how she's might be more of an impactful signing than Ospreay and Okada, I guess I could agree with that because she's from WWE, first of all, so a lot of American people
actually know who
her.
Who she is.
Yeah,
Like, just
other
call
than the
it.
hardcore
Nobody
marks.
knows. Nobody outside of the 700,000 people that already watch this know who Okada or Will Ospreay is. I'm sorry. I don't care how good people think they are. Nobody cares. They do care about Mercedes Mone.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
they do care.
So this is like a Bryan Danielson, CM Punk level signing in that sense.
Yes.
And they have,
Yes.
focused on certain people. If I could respond to what Vlad said, I know a lot of people's pushes kind of just get derailed for whatever reason, but certain people have gotten coherent pushes inexplicably.
Mm-hmm.
Like Adam Cole, they couldn't not let him have his push. MJF had his push.
Of course.
CM Punk would have had his push if he could have stayed healthy. So
Even if he wasn't, even though he wasn't healthy, he still had a push. He was
yes, they kept trying, but this is one of them that they could be like, all right, this is such a big signing that they have to at least try to keep going with whatever storyline they're going with, and they're gonna try to make it work as best as they could. It's important.
They will try. How they try, I don't know, but yes, if they're smart, they obviously will put her in the top tier spot. That goes without saying.
All right, well, let's run through the rest of Dynamite. I don't want to spend too much time with it, but I'll just say a couple things that happened. If anyone has any comments they want to throw in or jump in with, feel free. Reminder to the viewers out there on YouTube, if you want to zoom in on that little TV in the corner, that's up to you. We won't be offended if you don't want to see our faces, but it is there available. You could make it bigger. If don't complain that it's too small. You could make it bigger. All you got to do is with your finger, just like that. Just like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a little story time with Adam Cole, baby, where he told the story of how he formed the Undisputed Kingdom and, dethroned the evil MJF. They are united by undisputed hatred, right? Is that what they said? A group of guys. I don't know. I kind of thought it was all right, but overall, I think Adam Cole has not been taken seriously, especially since he's had this injury. He shouldn't be out there, I think, because he's too easy a target to make fun of. Anyone who's out there could make fun of him that he's freaking on a wheelchair walking around. And how long is this injury going to take to heal, man? This is the guy Toni Khan loves. These guys must have had a party and really hit it off, because he has given him the biggest starring role on this show that I don't know if he deserves, but okay. If anyone doesn't have comments, I'm going to move on to this Wardlow match with Samoa Joe.
Oh, hold on, Robert wants to say something.
Well, not on necessarily this segment, but the actual match. But I don't know if you want to talk about the match first.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. Let's move on to the match. So the Undisputed Kingdom's Wardlow has a big world title match tonight against Samoa Joe. Wardlow, who cut a fiery promo the past, I think, on Collision and on Dynamite, and trying to put himself over, make himself legit the way he thinks he is. So, we were all wondering what's going to happen now. He was supposedly a future world champion. Everyone said that for years, right? That he was kind of touted to be the world champion eventually. I mean, here he is on a match on Dynamite. It is big business, but I kind of didn't get the sense there was going to be a title change on this night. Did you, Vlad? Did you have any sense that there could be a title change?
Zero.
Well, they did get... I'm going to skip through the match. Wardlow did get some good offense in. He didn't look terrible. He had Samoa Joe on the ropes for some of the time. But the end of the match came, and Joe just choked him out and won clean, and there was no interference and there was no help from the Undisputed Kingdom at all. Where were they? I don't know. So I guess before we get to the aftermath of what happened, we might as well just stick to this. Robert, did you say you were going to have any comments about this match, this world title match?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess for people who have been consistently watching us, you probably notice I'm not as critical of AEW and Toni Khan as the two of you are. I have to be critical on this one.
Oh my God!
This is for the main championship is on the line. Why is this the first match of the show? This should have been the main event.
I have an answer to that.
That made absolutely no sense. So I was like, when this match started and they stated that the actual title was on the line, which is their main championship belt, right? The world title. Like, it made no sense that this was starting the show as opposed to closing. Traditionally, what you're supposed to do with the main title match is that should be the close. It happens in pay-per-views. It happens in TV shows as well. Like it's very rare where it actually makes sense where the main title match is not the main event. I think the very rare occasion where I can remember that happening is probably The Rock versus John Cena's their first match. I don't remember which WrestleMania that was, but the one that was in Miami. They were the main event, but the title, there was no title involved. That made sense because we're talking about The Rock versus John Cena. But
Yeah.
in most others, pretty much
Yeah, this
any
is
other
Dynamite.
scenario, yeah, this is pretty much any other scenario, whether it's a pay-per-view
Well, dude,
or a television
Riho
show.
versus Willow was on the card, so how can you put anything over that? You know what I mean? That's why. That's the reason.
Okay,
That,
and
right, that's what you were gonna say, Vlad.
It's funny. It's funny
Yeah,
that
that's
you
exactly what I was
bring.
gonna say.
Okay, it's funny that you bring that up, Keon, because I have been very harsh on Riho pretty much every time you brought her name up.
He's
And
gonna say she had a good match with.
and I know I actually thought she looked good in her match later on in the night, despite the loss.
I think she
However,
always
it's
looks
still,
good.
okay, well, I thought she looked better in this one. Okay, whatever.
Hold on.
But-
What's in this? What's in this beer?
Wait, hold on.
Am I taking crazy pills? What's happening?
Maybe you are. Maybe I am too. But hey, I thought Riho actually looked good in her match in the actual main event, but I don't think it should have been the main event. I think this should have been just because the title was on the line.
Vlad,
That's my
I know. I think I know what you're gonna say as to why they put this on first.
Okay, I'll say it anyways because I think you know what I'm gonna say is the ratings for AEW, right? We know this usually start off pretty decent, and by the second hour they pitfall into like under 700,000 or 700,000 or so. They didn't want to put this on where nobody's watching. They wanted to put it on right after the opening segment with Mercedes because they knew that people hopefully are still watching the show.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, Vlad.
That's the only reason they put it on at that time.
Okay.
They know by the end they're gonna lose all their viewers. They want as many
They're
people
going to lose
watching this.
at least 150 to 200,000 people, most likely. So they might as well put it on when they get the most viewers or the most possible viewers. That's the reason. Now, as far as the booking on this is something else. First, okay, I don't understand this whole match. Like, first of all, they had Wardlow cut these fiery promos where it looks like we said, like, hey, let's just see what happens. Maybe they're going to do something with this guy.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
We said, let's see, because he does have something. He's a big, tall, jacked up, strong-looking guy. You'd think you could do something with him, right? Somebody this big. You would think. So you cut these fire promos, how, like, it's his time, and, everybody that should be put to jail because he never got his push. And then in this match, where they could have... I mean, I'm not saying there should have been a title change. Obviously, Joe should have left as champion, but did they have to have him get submitted? Could they have not had his whole group interfere and cause a disqualification to save face?
Yeah.
I don't even understand.
This is outrageous booking. This is outrageous.
This is outrageous.
Booking.
It's outrageous, and it's like nonsensical. It's like stupid.
It's awful. It's awful. It's so sad for Wardlow.
What was the point of those promos? I don't understand.
Robert,
why did they let him do that? Why did they let him go out and do that?
I was watching this at my job yesterday because I didn't see it Wednesday night. So on Thursday, I took it with me on my phone. And I saw what happened, and I texted Vlad 3 words. What the fuck? What the fuck? He just got choked out. You don't do that in wrestling. Give him an out. He has a whole group. He has a whole stable. A heel stable.
Why did they interfere? Why did they just leave him to get beat like that? It made zero sense. They're a heel stable. Why did he have to get beat? He didn't need to get beat is the point. They could have get him on out. They could have disqualified. It could have been a disqualification. It would have been fine. Nobody expected him to win the title, but nobody expected him to get just submitted in the middle of the ring either. Jesus fucking Christ.
This is a disaster. All right, I got to move on from that just because it's too difficult to talk about. But
Robert, you agree with that, right? I mean, right? It's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty nonsensical.
It sucks. It sucks for fucking Wardlow, man. I don't know what the hell they could do with him right now. You can't. As Jim Cornette would say, you might as well have pissed in his mouth while he was down there.
Well, no, there's only one thing you could do with him now is, for him, hope to God his contract ends soon and he goes to NXT, because other than that, he's got no chance to succeed in this company anymore. That ship is, this was the final straw in that. They killed any chance for Wardlow to do anything, I think.
Well, the aftermath of it was Swerve Strickland coming out and fighting through security to attack Joe, but Joe had already had a match. So Joe was not really about trying to stay there and have a little confrontation with Swerve Strickland. So he backs out. But Swerve did look cool doing this. You know, it's kind of our thing where some things are nice about AEW, but some things are maddening. You know, like we'll praise Swerve's performance here, but you know,
I like Swerve.
Sure, yeah, exactly. But coming off of what just happened, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's move on to the Elite. Okada's here.
Where's my shotgun?
And Marvez asks him, why did you join the Elite? Why are you aligned with the Elite, right? Which is pretty insulting. But Okada, he was pretty funny here. I didn't know Okada had a sense of humor, Robert. Did you? Did he show any of this in Japan or what?
Yeah, he occasionally,
Hey, you're doing a great job, Alex. Okay, we'll circle back to Okada in just 1 second. I'll take that first question. Why did Okada join the Elite? I mean, can't you feel the synergy that the three best professional athletes in the world? That is Elite, right, Alex? I mean, we're talking 14
I'm trying to get to the part where Okada was talking. Hold on.
14 million. And other reasons why he joined the Elite.
I don't want to hear the Young Bucks.
Penta, Pat, Eddie, I'm coming for you. Anyway, say happy birthday to Matthew.
Good point.
Oh, sorry. Happy birthday, Matthew.
Thanks. No. Sing it.
Happy birthday
So he does it.
to you.
Fucking lame, Marvez. He just doesn't want to get his ass kicked. Sing it. All right. You know, I don't know. I'm going to go with Okada. Let's roll with it. But, this was what happened at the end of their six-man match with Kingston's crew with Penta and Pac. But I guess he's going to go after that Continental Classic Triple Crown title from him. So that'll be interesting. Okada versus Kingston. Okay. I hope they get the title off Kingston because I think Kingston's been taking a lot of flack lately for his in-ring work, and it's probably time to just... He's already had his title run, man. He's a world champion. Give it up.
give it up.
So that's what I say. Give it to Okada.
Didn't they just have him beat Daniel Bryan on a pay-per-view? So I don't know if he's going to give up the
but it was a
title.
match that was lambasted. Although I kind of liked that match, but that was just me. Moving on.
Was it lambasted? I didn't even know that, but okay.
Will Ospreay, it looks like his match is set with Bryan Danielson for Dynasty. All right. Just want to mention that because last time we were mentioning how we're excited about that. So the match is set in stone, Robert. All right. So
I'm excited for it. For
yeah,
sure.
get the 12-pack ready. We'll be here watching that. Going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Danielson, honestly, he's old, bro. I don't know if he should really try to hang with Will Ospreay in a match. Like, he's got to get to All In, right? But also, Ospreay has to get to All In because I think he should main event All In for the world title. I think that should be the goal, to have him main event his home country. So we'll see if that comes through or if there's hopefully no injuries happen on the way there. It's a long ways away. But I'm going to move on from this. Darby Allin versus Jay White, which was a pretty solid matchup, we said last week. And the ending came when Darby Allin missed a coffin drop onto the onto the ring apron and he hit the floor. And Jay White just picked him up and put him in the Blade Runner, which is kind of like the Crossroads, I guess, a little bit. But so they win the match. And there's an Afterbirth. The Bullet Club is going to try to whip Darby's ass, right? But the Bang Bang, or the Scissor Gang, the what are they called? The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. They come out and they're like, what are you doing? So this is the first time since they've been a six-man stable that the Bullet Club have done something heel, even though they are heels. So that the Acclaimed come out and say, oh, what are you doing? You know, I can't believe you're doing this. And then this leads to the end of the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. After like a few weeks, it's like the shortest lived stable that I could think of. But it looks like they're going to have a trios feud between the AEW Trios Champions and the Ring of Honor Trio Champions, or six-man champions, to be precise. What do you think of this booking, Vlad?
I think it's phenomenal. I think it's, to quote Toni Khan, I think it's great. I think it's all fantastic. I think we're going to have the biggest year in 2024. We're going places. We're doing things. We're selling out.
Okay, Vlad. Okay, I'll cut you off there. I got you. We got you. Robert, are you saddened by the end of the Bang Bang Scissor Gang?
Hold up. Before I get to that part, I want to say Darby Allin trying to fight Jay White with an injured back is like trying to bring scissors to a gunfight.
Yep.
Now, to the end of the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I am not sad about that at all because I didn't like their pairing it to begin with. So, all right, cool.
Dude, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang was made in heaven. That was not even an idea that someone needs to came up with. It was just there.
Well, I don't
even know how to respond to that.
I like both groups. I don't like them together. I don't think they're a good fit personally. But whatever.
All right.
It's over now. So
fine. Let's move on from that too. Then, what happened next? Okay, I think we did it. That was the main event. Was after that. So we're done with Dynamite. Okay, so this show is called Big Business. Vlad, was it big business to you or what?
I mean, I think the first 35 minutes or so were kind of interesting with Mercedes Mone, and then that insane title match, the booking on that insane title match that they had. After that, that's when I started forwarding through it. I think I texted you that, and really towards the end. I mean, I saw everything that you just showed for the most part. I probably watched the first 35 minutes straight, minus, the commercials, which I forwarded. But after that, I might have finished the show in like 10, 15 minutes because it was just hot garbage, I felt. So, sorry, what was there a question? Did you ask me?
Did the show live up to the name Big Business?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say just because they had Mercedes Mone that it kind of did in a sense, but in reality, if you really watch the show as a whole, no, obviously it did not.
Robert?
Well, the big takeaway from this show was the signing of Mercedes Mone. So just based on that alone, I guess. But I don't know. It wasn't a great episode, but I will still remember this as the night that Mercedes Mone was signed.
Man, I probably remember this as the night Wardlow died.
Or that too, yeah.
The end of Wardlow. the night they decided they're done with him. I mean, maybe they just realize he's not going to re-sign, and they're just going to bury him like that. So, all right then.
Yeah, maybe.
That'll be it for AEW Talk this week. Please subscribe. We got 170-something subscribers. We're trying to get to 170 million subscribers, so we need you guys to pick up the pace. Please tell all your wrestling fan friends to sign in to their YouTube. Go to search Malapert Smark, baby. Subscribe. Hit that subscribe. Go there every day. Non-stop wrestling talk. We're going to flood you guys with more wrestling talk than you guys can even have time in the day to listen to. For the wrestling expert and for the Frozen Asian, show them some respect. Show them the respect they deserve. And hit subscribe. We'll see you guys later. We're going to be back with some classic wrestling talk. We're going to hit that WCW again. After this. Halloween Havoc, baby. 1996. Hollywood Hogan and the Macho Man. Subscribe. Can't remind you again. Did I say subscribe? Should I say it again?
I think
sure,
you haven't
one more
said it
time.
enough. Yeah, you haven't said it enough times.